G'day, my name's Roberto Di Donato. This is Jerry. So if you're new to the channel, I'm a photographer, or not really, but I just do photography with the Olympus cameras and sometimes with film cameras, Canon, any type of film camera, digicams too. I like the digicams. So this is my channel if you're new here, and I haven't really introduced myself, but I've been doing this for about coming up to 4 years now. I started in January 1st, 2020, and I've got a good backlog catalogue. So if you want to check out my backlog catalogue, I've got a lot of videos about tutorials. In the early days, I was a little bit fatter then. If anything, this YouTube channel documented my weight loss, but that was all during the pandemic actually. I think a lot of YouTubers started during the pandemic. They were at home. I thought, oh well, why not? I kind of started way earlier than that, but I never really did anything with it until I got into my Olympus cameras and I started watching Rob Trek and learning how to use it. And I thought, oh yeah, I could do a few tutorials. It was mainly to learn myself, really, because once you document it, it kind of makes you do. You have a project every week to create a video, and what I did, I went through the whole manual. So the the Olympus EM10 Mark II manual from cover to cover. Well, almost. And each week I did a video on each chapter, and that made me really learn a lot because I was dedicated to it by, I had a project. I had to, I didn't have to, but you know what I mean. It gave me something to do, and I thought, I'll grow a channel out of it, while on the side as a side benefit. And I tried to do a few tutorials. They're pretty bad. I mean, I cut so much in it because I'm useless in front of the camera. So there you go. I'm an arso. Oh, here we go. Jerry. Hey, yes, you like this, Jerry? Oh, the big creek, Jerry. I'm feeling like I want to grow out of the Olympus. Not grow out, I still keep my Olympus gear, but just try something different, like with full frame, just to have fun, really. I'm not a professional. I'm not like invested in thousands and thousands of dollars of gear and stuff, and if I change and swap systems, it's gonna, I have to get all new lenses. I'd probably just get another camera and just start slow with the kit lens, something like that, and and flip between the Olympus, and I got my eye on the Sony, the Canon, or the Fuji. That's a pretty bloody big range, but there's so many choices out there now, it's ridiculous. Jerry Kookaburra. They sing for a little bit and then they stop singing. The old Kookaburra sitting in an old gum tree. Laugh, Kookaburra, laugh. They're actually laughing, they're not really singing. Oh, Jerry, look. What's that? Some sort of turkey. That's weird. Oh my, wow, look at that. Typical. When you need your zoom. Huh, yeah, all dust and dirt all over him. That must be his nest. Okay, you've got to be quiet, Jerry. The bush turkey, there he is. Oh, Jerry. So much for wildlife with Jerry. Jerry. You can't, Jerry, you're not allowed. It's an endangered species, Jerry. Stick to the plan. We're not here for wildlife. We're here for landscape with the old trusty 17mm equivalent to 35mm. It's really 34mm, but who's counting on the old crop sensor? And you'd like to know that I did bring my strap this time. Even though I don't like it, it's recommended because if you drop your camera, then you're a goose, you're a turkey. Hey Jerry, you're a turkey if you drop your camera. Jerry, we've come to the fork in the road, metaphorically and physically. Should I change this channel to a different camera system and just start using another camera system? I mean, I know that's contrary to what I said before, because I'm not really a camera loyalist brand. Just really, it's more about me getting out and taking photos with my dog, Julio here. And I mean, the funny thing with YouTube is that people tune out when it's not their camera. But then I've got a lot of people who comment who don't even use Olympus. So I think that's more when it scales like large, when you've got a massive audience. When you've got a small audience, it's more about just, people hanging out every weekend with me and Jerry, and they don't give a shit what camera I use. And really, I mean, it doesn't really matter what camera you use anyway, Jerry, does it? Yeah? As long as you take good photos. Although I have seen some good photos with full frame people, but maybe it's just in my head that I think it's just that extra degree of separation, that kind of that you don't get with Olympus unless you zoom in, and you compress. Jerry, look, ducky. So this 17mm, it's so small. Look at that. It's just like a pancake, really. And it just looks cool on this. It's got a little clutch for manual focus. Not that you need it with such a wide angle. Yeah. And it goes to 1.8. Not that you need it in bright sunlight, but you can get that shallower depth of field. And in low light, I guess. I'm not inspired to take any photos today. Maybe I'll just wrap it up and call this video Welcome to Roberto's channel again 4 years later. Oh, sorry, Jerry's channel. Hey you, hey Jerry. That's your channel, not mine. You're looking at the swamp hen. So I've come to Vinyard Creek or Reserve or something, I don't know what the hell it is, and we're going to take some photos here, but it's uninspiring. In fact, I won't even take a photo today. I'll probably take one photo of that. I guess this is just a scouting mission, and the scouting mission for this place is never come back here again, because it's absolutely useless. I mean, there's one shot there. I guess that's all you need, one shot really. Yeah, hang on. It wasn't a total waste. Look at the no zero colour, absolute crap. Let's change it to black and white. Hey Jerry, Jerry showed me, but I think this is one of my favourite photos. I know it's a little bit abstract, but that's what I like about it. It's completely symmetry, whatever, and just that rich contrast that you get out of the black and white, and even that stupid little thing that I cloned out of the first photo. I don't know what it is, some concrete. I mean, it is kind of arty-farty type, but I like that. I like how it's almost like an abstract painting. A little bit of the blown out sky there, but there you go. Not to waste even the most stupidest places that you go to, some dingy creek in the middle of suburbia, can have a little bit of beauty in there. So what do you think, Jerry? Any good? But yeah, that's just plan ahead. I never do that. It's just me and bloody Jerry trying to figure out what to do. We get onto Google. That's what I do. I get onto Jerry. I get onto Google Maps and go, what the hell? Where the hell can I go this weekend? And that's my scouting trip for you. That's the extent of my YouTube channel research. Zero. Jerry, Kookaburra. They're laughing at me. Everyone's laughing at me, Jerry. Like I did a whole month of film the last month, and I just tried to use different street landscape. So I'd like to mix it up a bit, this channel. It's just more about me and Jerry. So if you're new here and you're wondering, what the hell, what's this dickhead doing? That's me, Rob and Jerry. 4 years later, still doing the same shit we did from day one. I'm nearly approaching my 4th year, so I'm still enjoying it. It's more about the photography, really, and actually, since I started, it's become a lot more to do. Essentially, since I've been editing my sister's vlogs on music history, Australian music history. Go check it out. It's a top channel, I must say so indeed. She's way more professional than me when it comes to presenting and researching and studying. Like, she really studies her content and gets it down, on tape, really, really good. Is the editing part. I do the editing, and bloody hell. Shut up. Cockies. Yes, I know. Bloody cocky. Is the editing part of the whole YouTube thing. Putting in, just learning how to edit better. Put in a few funny fart. If you've been watching the channel, I'm partial to a fart joke. I'll chuck in a few fart jokes here, and that's the creative part. I like that part of it, the creative part, and that all ties in together with video and 24 frames per second and all that shit. And the photography as well. So yeah, that's me, eh? And Jerry. Hey, Jerry, you going back to the car? Jerry, no, stay here with me. Why, you naughty girl. That's what YouTube's kind of good for. I know a lot of people don't really like YouTube because they think you got to speak in front of the camera and all that. But for me, even though I'm not very good at it, it kind of gives me an excuse to be creative. I mean, you can be creative anyway. You don't need YouTube to do it, but it gives you that creative outlet to show people, even just to show your friends and family as well. You don't have to show the world. You can put it on private settings, YouTube, but it gives you a platform. You can add music. I mean, there are other places, like obviously Flickr and Smug Mug, and I know a lot of street photographers like Lauren, one of the guys who likes watching my videos. He's really big on Smug Mug. He really pumps it there, and it's actually a better platform because it kind of just gives you the photo without all the bullshit. And and same as Flickr too. Yahoo, Instagram is good because everyone's on there and you can flick through. But so that's the problem. It's flick, and you don't really stop to smell the roses a lot of the times. Whereas on YouTube, you can stop and smell the roses, or in my case, stop and smell Jerry's poo. But you know what I mean? It's you're in control, not the the end user. And so because you're in control, I mean, obviously you can fast forward the YouTube video, but you're in control and you set the pace, you put the music, you know, there's no ads, or there are ads, so I don't know what the hell I don't know where I'm going with this, but you know what I mean. It's a good creative outlet, YouTube, and that's why I like you. That's why I don't really show much on Flickr or Instagram or Smugmug. So even like this weekend, I was pretty much failed this location. So I thought on the way home I'd stop off and, you know, practice some street photography. And I was thinking of doing a little project of multiculturalism, because I grew up multicultural and I'm surrounded by multicultural in living in the suburbs. So there you go. There's another little project that I was thinking of while I was out. So on the way home, I stopped off and started trying to practice my street photography in Little India in Harris Park. Yeah, shit, the photos are pretty crap, but it's practice and it's a project. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but basically the principle it is, you know, you have a little project and you really do need to practice street photography, if you ask me. I think, like, a lot of people might think, oh, well, all you're doing is going out taking photos on the street, but you really do need to have that confidence. And I think it's the confidence, you know, like some of these shots, you think it's easy, you think, oh yeah, I can do that, but like the really good photos and the captured moments, you know, I think you really need to be up close. I had that 17mm here, so I was thinking I'm more used to the, you know, the zoom. It's like you're going on stage. You're really nervous at the start, but then once you get into it, and once you know, halfway through the play, you're right into it and you don't want it to stop, and you have more confidence and you can start taking better photos because you have more confidence and you can approach people. And, you know, still saying that, composition, isolating people. Like I said, this little project, I want to kind of feature, you know, like a different town with a different multicultural theme to it, because every town where I live, they're all segregated into ethnic groups. So it's just where everyone clusters together. Like, you got a high Asian population in some towns, Arabic, Indian. One thing you don't have is Australian. Was that racist, Jerry? Probably. But you know what I mean. So it's good to highlight these suburbs and the rich cultural backdrop, you know what I mean, with the people and the food and the shops and the shop fronts, like all the signage, everything's in different language, things like that. I think that's a good project for me, for where I live. It's like they say, do what's around you. Don't try and do things that are out of your reach. Living in the suburbs, I have access to all of that, so it would be a really good subject to tackle. Although, a pretty bad start. But I'm getting better at street photography. I just need to practice more, like anything really. Anyway, I took one photo today. There you go. I probably won't make the portfolio, but thanks for watching. I'll catch you on next week on a new video.